Look at this manga panel. Just what is the context behind this? How did we get here? What is happening? Why does this look so tragic? We'll get to that soon. But before we do, there is absolutely no way I just witnessed the anime and manga community do something insane, yet simple to potentially save a brand new story from being cancelled. I have no words, and to put it short, I'm just baffled right now. Okay, I lied. I have some words, or else this video wouldn't really be a thing. But trust me, I just found probably one of the most unique stories I've read in a while, with genuinely so much potential. And it's not every day you get to see a fandom saving a manga that's about to get axed. Like, how many times have you picked up a manga, especially if you read a lot of them, only to find them getting cancelled or axed in a week, a few weeks, in a month, in a few months, maybe even just leaving behind a one-shot, that's it. Ultimate bummer of a feeling right there. And because of that, I'm about to hook you guys up to this banger. A story that literally bounces between so many genres, from slice of life to the supernatural. The way it shifts energy to one of the calmest moments to straight up chaos to literally bittersweet and depressing moments. Something which personally caught me off guard. The unique art style and character designs. It kind of reminded me of a video game I used to play when I was a kid that would be a dating simulator, like those visual novels, except it's a first-person shooter. And you basically go around the school shooting girls as a cupid to make them fall in love with you or something, or at least that's what I remember about the game. Yes, this story is about cupids, without the degeneracy and an actually good plot. A world where cupids are real, you know, based on the Roman god of love who holds a bow and shoots arrows to make people fall in love. It takes that concept and puts a funny little twist on it. Okay, maybe it's not funny. It gets quite dark and depressing. But yes, a world where cupids are real, invisible to human eyes, an interesting concept of origin as well. How these mythical beings came to be is when a person dies before they get to experience love. Kind of like you guys. I'm joking. They're given a second chance by the goddess of love. Sounds kind, right? Well, you might actually change your mind with how this works. During their second chance, they're reborn as cupids using bows and arrows that will make people fall in love when their target is looking at someone. Except, well, in modern times, you have to adapt and improvise, make things more efficient. Hence, you get the pew-pew, guns, American approved, using their subjective judgment to match people and help them fall in love. Except, these cupids themselves cannot fall in love. They can't express it. Even if it's something they want, they can never have it. It becomes a forcefully alien concept, which is something you get to find out in this very first chapter. When a bunch of these cupids are at McDonald's, wait, hold up, my bad. I meant WhackDonald's. Gotta be careful of those copyright trademark shenanigans. A group of 3 students who are just chilling in WhackDonald's, having a good time, just talking, obviously not indulging in the latest kaisen meal, us finding out that there's a little love triangle going on between them. And the more you read, you get to find out that the love triangle is actually because of a mistake the cupids originally made. Hence a bunch of invisible cupids surrounding them and trying to decide who should fall in love with who, calmly discussing how they should fix this mess, till, well, things weren't calm anymore. Unable to come to an agreement, these cupids break out an entire Call of Duty lobby in the middle of this McDonald's. A huge shift to pure chaos and utter havoc, which honestly had me so pumped reading it. The way Inee, the author of this manga, the mangaka, is able to show all the movements, the actions, as if you're genuinely just watching it animated, unless you have an absolutely horrible imagination. Their love for the use of martial arts like grappling and disarming techniques, and these cupids even shooting each other, putting them in a state of frenzy. Because if you remember, I mentioned before how they are unable to fall in love. So what happens when a cupid shoots a cupid? Great question, my Padawan. They're literally stuck in a state of confusion. They want to love, but they don't know what that is anymore.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
And a huge decision that ends the fight right then and there, which I'll let you guys find out for yourself. Wrapping that chapter up with a really wholesome, funny, comical ending. And just when I thought it ends there, the manga suddenly decides to drop this huge emotional bomb on how one of our main characters came to be a cupid. In that process, you get beautiful imagery and parallels to show just that. And once again, it's something I also want you guys to find out for yourself. But just look at this. From here, you just get all these questions about how this cupid system works, who actually knows who, why certain cupids are helping another cupid, theories going around everywhere among the fan base, things that feel like they need more explanation. And this in turn leading to even more questions and theorizing and discussions in general. And that's how you know the author made it. When people talk about your work regularly, or when it invokes a lot of questions to the readers, you know your writing is good. Unless of course that question is, why is the writing so bad? Which is not the case here. Which makes me think the story has way more potential on what more it can introduce, what it can become, how dark it can get, how fulfilling it might turn out to be. Even more twists, maybe even bittersweet ones that honestly feel like a bunch of them are actually coming. And just the overall aspect of time travel in this series. Yes, believe it or not, in a way, there is time travel. Because by the time our cupid of focus was reborn as a cupid, well, let's just say, Many years have already passed. People have already moved on, yet seeing the ones she cared about still thinking about her from time to time. The implications of all this, do all cupids get reborn in the same way or the same amount of time, or does it vary from cupid to cupid? And the fact that once they finish their job they get to come back as a human, but at the same age that they died, but also at the same time not sent back in time. Basically a whole new life, meaning everyone from their previous life are beyond their reach now. What would this mean if, say, there are two cupids that died around the same time and knew each other, or only one knew the other? Would that mean that they would get reborn at the same time? Would they also become a human once again at the same time? Lots of potential build-ups in that case, and you may even get questions that may arise on more moral grounds of what exactly is the concept of love. Is it something that only the cupids can induce, or is it something that happens by itself? And now that brings us to why such an amazing story was about to get dropped. You can probably guess it, and why anything gets dropped is not enough sales. Seeing the sales on the first volume, I believe it was the first volume, Inee did what she probably thought was a last ditch strategy to hopefully bring the sales up even if it's just a bit, and that the story actually reaches the right people. And reach the right people it certainly did. This was also just genuinely one of the most impressive marketing stunt I've seen. And trust me, I've seen a lot, whether it be Rent-A-Girlfriend's author going on dates with a life-size figure of his female lead, or just photoshopping her everywhere. And this one was just heartfelt and honest. Not that going on dates with their own character isn't honest either. You get my point. They were struggling, so they put in the effort to draw a whole chapter as a call for help, being honest about the sales, and well, here we are. Sold out, pre-orders getting booked out on multiple websites, and a whole fandom not just for Yuri, assembling like they're about to take on Thanos. And it's honestly deserved, and a part of me hopes courtesies like these are extended to more people, because being a mangaka with a consistent schedule, especially if it's week to week, isn't an easy job. To a heavy extent, a lot of these authors are working inhumane hours and also sacrificing their health in the process. Hiring an assistant is virtually impossible for newer people in the scene. Adding on to that, profit margins are super tight if there is even any. Entering a creative field like this is basically risking time and money to hopefully eventually make it. And the sad truth behind this is that not everyone does make it. A lot of dreams get crushed. As I mentioned before, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen plenty of manga getting axed before they can even reach 5 chapters, even 1 chapter at times. That's why you have one-shots at times. So yeah, gestures like these is what potentially saved an amazing and unique narrative that you can experience in Love Bullet, the manga. And yes, if you want to support the author, you can buy it on Amazon, CD Japan. I can't name the list on top of my head, but I'll put it in the description somewhere. Alright, I forgot to record an outro, so this might be super scuffed, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys got a brand new manga recommendation out of that. If you end up picking up the manga and if you end up enjoying the read, do support the author. I believe Inee has a Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the following. And a huge thanks to the Daily Love Bullet account on Twitter that actually introduced me to the story. They just out of nowhere recommended it to me and I tried it out and I really enjoyed it. Like, that was a unique piece of story and I'm not putting that lightly. So a huge thanks to them. If you go on their profile, you can see a bunch of ways to support the author, how to support Inee. I believe you can buy a copy from CD Japan. They keep restocking because people keep buying on the manga after hearing the trouble the author went through. It's actually kind of funny. They keep buying it out and they have to keep restocking and it's basically a cycle. And I believe Manga Republic might have it. I'm just going off of my memory here. Manga Republic might have it. Amazon might have it. You can look it up if it's in your region. And yeah, if you want a digital copy, Comic Walker has it. Maybe some other obscure sites have it as well, I have no clue. And yeah, at the very least, if you do enjoy the story, do talk to your friends about it, recommend it to others, talk to your brothers, sisters, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, great-grandma, you know, you get the point. And if you enjoyed this video, do leave a like. And if you're new here, hit subscribe for more anime and manga videos. Yeah, I also have a Twitter myself. If you want to go follow that, I occasionally rant and talk about anime, random commentary that I don't sometimes put on YouTube, you know. Yeah, until next time, peace.